So let's try and see if we can expand this DATESYTD function. So let me share my idea first. So we'll always have to think about what we think is going on before we'll be able to provide a solution. So we are trying to calculate revenue, but we are trying to change the context from the current selection to include everything from 1st of January up until the last day in that selection. We use the DATESYTD function to help us, use calculate to alter the filter context in that regards. But if we don't want to use the DATESYTD function, we are going to have to use something else. Typically, we will always use the filter function to do that, to define our filter that we will need to use. So my idea of DATESYTD is it's able to detect the year that is selected, and then it's able to get the 1st of January of that year, and then it's also able to detect the last date in the selection of our report, so that it can give us 1st of January of that year up until that last day that is selected on the report. So for July, it will find out the last day in July. For example, we start 1st of July, and then it will do a list of dates from the 1st of January of 2014 up until 31st of July of that 2014. So we need to be able to construct that on our own. So let me come here and shift enter. This is going to be where I do my results. So that's my return leg of my formula. Then I need to come and define variables. First thing I need is let me know the current year. Okay, so the current year, let's call that selected year equals to selected value would help us find out which year is selected, calendar year. Then I need to find out what's the 1st of January of my year. So let's call that the first day in year. So first day in year, I'm going to use the date function to construct a date. And the first thing the date function wants is the year. So my year is obviously whichever year I have selected. So I keep making this spelling mistake. So this is the selected year is going to be the year. The month is going to be January, which is 1. And the day is 1st. So I have the first day of the year as the 1st of January of whatever year is selected. Then now I can do my return and run my calculate revenue. And for the filters, I'm going to change this from DATESYTD to say filter all of my calendar, right? So go to the calendar table, expand everything you see there, and give me a filter. So the filter expression is give me a filter where all the dates, so let's say where the calendar date is greater than or equals to the first day in the year, which we call okay, I didn't spell that right, so let me change that spelling, FIRST. Okay, so greater than or equals to the first day in year, which is 1st of January, and the same calendar date is less than or equals to the last day in the year. So I need to have another variable that will tell me what's the last day in the year. So let's quickly come back here and do a new variable called last day selected. Okay, so last day selected is going to be equals to the maximum, which is the highest of calendar dates. So the maximum of calendar dates depending on the month that is selected, right? So if June, then it will give me 30th of June. If August, it will give me 30th or 31st of August. So let's now say the calendar date here is also less than or equals to the last day selected. So when I close here for my filter and close here for my calculate and hit enter, so we can see that the result is more or less the same thing. So I can just come back and duplicate this. So let me Ctrl A, Ctrl C, right click and create a new measure just to create a replica. Paste this. let this one be revenue YTD2, which I'm going to add to the report. Oops. It should be on that same report on this visual. So revenue YTD2. Then I'm going to change the first one back to the sugar coated one. So which is calculate revenue for date YTD of my calendar dates. So if you check both of them, you can see that they return largely the same thing. So they typically just return the same thing across everywhere, and that works for us. But maybe we can add a little bit of sugar to this. So is there something else we could do? Rather than saying filter here, maybe we could use another function. So let's see. There's a function that has a little bit of sugar there, and that function is called the DATESBETWEEN. So calculate revenue, and the filters that we want to apply should be something called DATESBETWEEN. So for all the dates between, of course, the first argument is date, which is my calendar date. And the next argument is the start date, which is my first day in year. I have that variable, so first day in year. And the last argument is the end date, which is the last day selected variable that I have there. And close this. So this is now returning the same thing using a little bit of sugar. So we didn't use dates YTD. We have constructed our own range of dates, that is dates between the first day in the year and the last day that is selected on our report visual based on the filters context.